Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of The Classical Republican, about a man who cared deeply about the Roman Republic. Of course, we're talking about Cicero. Cicero was born in Arpinum in 106 BC. He studied philosophy and rhetoric in Greece. He served in the military during the Social War. He worked as an advocate, and when I say advocate, I am talking about, basically, he was a lawyer. So he served in many offices, even all the way up to consul. Something you have to understand about Cicero is that he was a new man, a novus homo. And what that meant was he was not descended from the very old Roman families. And so he always felt like he had something to prove. And that chance to prove himself came when he was consul in 68 BC with the Catiline conspiracy. So Catiline was Catiline was an usurper, and he had a conspiracy to overthrow the government and to become the ruler of Rome himself. Now, Cicero was able to uncover this conspiracy, and for that he is called the Pater Patriae, or father of the country. Now, after this time, he kind of fell out with the powers that be. He was still involved in politics, but if we skip ahead a little bit, Caesar, Pompey, and Crassus were maneuvering to create the extra-constitutional triumvirate. And he fell out with these new rulers. And as the Republican norms crumbled around him, he turned to writing. And over his lifetime, he wrote volumes on philosophy and rhetoric. Now, remember, at this time, Neoplatonism is the dominant philosophy. There's also Epicureanism, and he really doesn't like Epicureanism. There's also Stoicism. Stoicism is becoming very popular at this time. He has a good friend, Cato the Younger, who is a Stoic, and he admires it, but he can't really accept it for himself. Now, he's a Neoplatonist, but Neoplatonism at this time, politically speaking, is very pro-mixed regime. He wrote some books on the Republic and Res Publica. That's where we get the word republic in English. He also wrote on the laws, De Legibus. So, I'm going to read to you from the laws. And he could have written, so this is kind of his ideal form of government that he is laying out here in his writings. Commands shall be just, and the citizens shall obey them dutifully and without protest. Upon the disobedient or guilty citizen, the magistrate shall use compulsion by means of fines, imprisonment, or stripes, unless an equal or higher authority or the people forbid it. The citizen shall have the right to appeal to them. After the magistrate has pronounced a sentence, either of death or fine, there shall be a trial before the people for the final determination of the fine or other penalty. There shall be no appeal from orders given by a commander in the field. While a magistrate is waging war, his commands shall be valid and binding. There shall be minor magistrates with partial authority, who shall be assigned to special functions. In the army, they shall command those over whom they are placed, and be their tribunes. In the city, they shall be custodians of public moneys. They shall have charge of the confinement of criminals. They shall inflict capital punishment. They shall coin bronze, silver, and gold money. They shall decide lawsuits. They shall do whatsoever the Senate shall decree. There shall be aediles, who shall be curators of the city, of the markets, and of the customary games. This magistracy shall be their first step in the advancement to higher office. Censors shall make a list of citizens recording their ages, families, and slaves, and their property. They shall have charge of the temples, streets, and aqueducts within the city, and of the public treasury and the revenues. They shall make a division of the citizens into tribes and other divisions according to wealth, age, and rank. They shall enroll the recruits for the cavalry and infantry. They shall prohibit celibacy. They shall regulate the morals of the people. They shall allow no one guilty of dishonorable conduct to remain in the Senate. They shall be 2 in number, and shall hold office for 5 years. The other magistrates shall hold office for 1 year. The office of censor shall never be vacant. The administrator of justice, who shall decide or direct the decision of civil cases, shall be called praetor. He shall be the guardian of the civil laws. There shall be as many praetors with equal powers as the Senate shall decree or the people command. There shall be 2 magistrates with royal powers, since they lead, judge, and confer. From these functions they shall be called praetors, judges, and consuls. In the field they shall hold the supreme military power. They shall be subject to no one. The safety of the people shall be their highest law. No one shall hold the same office a second time except after an interval of 10 years. They shall observe the age limits fixed by a law defining the year. But when a serious war of civil dissensions arise, one man shall hold for not longer than 6 months the power which ordinarily belongs to the 2 consuls, if the Senate shall so decree. And after being appointed under favorable auspices, he shall be master of the people. He shall have an assistant to command the cavalry, whose rank shall be equal to that of the administrator of justice. But when there are neither consuls nor a master of the people, there shall be no other magistrates, and the auspices shall be in the hands of the Senate, which shall appoint one of its number to conduct the election of consuls in the customary manner. Officials with and without imperium and ambassadors shall leave the city when the Senate shall so decree or the people so command. They shall wage just wars justly. They shall spare the allies. They shall hold themselves and their subordinates in check. They shall increase the national renown. They shall return home with honor. No one shall be made an ambassador for the purpose of attending to his own personal affairs. The 10 officials whom the plebeians shall elect to protect them from violence shall be their tribunes. Their prohibitions and resolutions passed by the plebeians under their presidency shall be binding. Their persons shall be inviolable. They shall not leave the plebeians without tribunes. All magistrates shall possess the right of taking the auspices and the judicial power. The Senate shall consist of those who have held magistracies. Its decrees shall be binding. But in case an equal or higher authority than the presiding officer shall veto a decree of the Senate, it shall nevertheless be written out and preserved. The senatorial order shall be free from dishonor, and shall be a model for the rest of the citizens. When elective, judicial, and legislative acts of the people are performed by vote, the voting shall not be concealed from the citizens of high rank, and shall be free to the common people. But if any acts of administration shall be necessary, in addition to those done by the regular magistrates, the people shall elect officials to perform them, and give them the authority to do so. Consuls, praetors, masters of the people, masters of the horse, and those officials whom the Senate shall appoint to conduct the election of consuls shall have the right to preside over meetings of the people and the Senate. The tribunes chosen by the plebeians shall have the right to preside over the Senate, and shall also refer whatever is necessary to the plebeians. Moderation shall be preserved in meetings of the people and the Senate. A senator's absence from a meeting of the Senate shall be either for cause or culpable. A senator shall speak in his turn and at moderate length. He shall be conversant with public affairs. No violence shall be used at meetings of the people. An equal or higher authority shall have the greater power, but the presiding officer shall be responsible for any disorder which may occur. He who vetoes a bad measure shall be deemed a citizen of distinguished service. Presiding officers shall observe the auspices and obey the state augur. They shall see that bills, after being read, are filed among the archives in the state treasury. They shall not take the people's vote on more than one question at a time. They shall instruct the people in regard to the matter in hand, and allow them to be instructed by other magistrates and by private citizens. No law or personal exception shall be proposed. Cases in which the penalty is death or loss of citizenship shall be tried only before the greatest assembly and by those whom the censors have enrolled among the citizens. No one shall give or receive a present either during a candidacy or during or after a term of office. The punishment for a violation of any of these laws shall fit the offense. The censors shall have charge of the official text of the laws. When officials go out of office, they shall refer their official acts to the censors, but shall not receive exemption from prosecution thereby. The law has been read. Disperse, and I will order the ballots to be distributed. Okay, so that's from the laws. And Cicero could have written about any sort of dream of an ideal state. And this dream, this ideal, was the Roman Republic. Maybe with a few slight alterations in the pure form of the mixed regime. But he was choosing the tried and tested theory of classical republicanism. So, this is all today from the Classical Republican. Long live the Republic.